Last time on Square Roots, Daud fries a whale, makes some soup, and leverages the legal system to his advantage. Later, Delilah pulls a classic mean girl move and steals Daud's best friend. We're the witches of Brigmore, and Daud can't sit with us.
Welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Sant.
Heyo!
John Granny Rags Brandon.
If Japanese role-playing games are jerpigs, does this make it a war pig?
Johnny Ozzy Osbourne Brandon.
And Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa.
And this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs, one chunker at a time. And this is the final episode of Dishonored.
We did it!
Wow.
Whoa.
Some of us did it. And some of
We
us
almost all
didn't
did
do
it.
it.
Hey, we've
Did
all finished these DLCs.
John.
I've played it before.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
just didn't
saying.
play it this time.
We have all finished these DLCs.
This isn't
True.
the show where we think about games we played once and talk about them one chunk.
Now, listeners,
It
I
is
would like
this
to
time.
emphasize
John.
I have finished both these DLCs recently in the last 2 weeks. So, I'm good.
I don't think I have finished them within the last 2 weeks because I played ahead way too far.
No, I did the same
Oh.
thing. I finished this game like a month ago. And I've been playing Metaphor Refantasio. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. What's your favorite class? Who's your favorite companion?
I always liked English class.
I don't know.
me
I guess
too.
I liked English. I liked drama, but I had a terrible drama teacher.
I don't like do class in that way, you know?
Yeah.
I don't believe in it.
That's why you got an elephant in French, Vanessa.
An elephant?
Jim understands the reference.
Did he?
What? I didn't even hear your joke.
Yeah, he's
actually.
not even around. He
I-
basically
I
is.
was.
I said that's
In
why
another room.
Vanessa got an elephant in French.
Oh. I get that.
L'elephant?
Because Vanessa went to like a fancy school where they didn't give
Yeah.
you grades, letter grades.
I think in
Oh, yeah.
I think in Arrested Development, it's like you got a crocodile in English. I think it's crocodile.
Don't blame me. I got an elephant in math.
Yeah.
L'elephant en français pour moi.
Do you guys think Jim is going to tell us what we do on this show, or is this going to be
I already said
forever a
it.
mystery?
I said it.
Did you,
I
though?
said it. I
Did you, though?
I don't know. Maybe not.
You definitely didn't.
This is a podcast where we play Dishonored.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is an example of gaslighting.
Oh.
Oh wow! Thanks, Matt.
Wait, I thought that's when we all dimmed the lights in Jim's place and told him they've always been that dark.
I do that every night at 11, but it's not working. He just thinks it's his timer.
That's terrifying.
Because we all know what you're doing at 11, and it's not Christian.
It never will be.
Is it Sister Christian?
No, it's not Christian.
I remember one time I was in Topeka and Sister Christian, or is it Lawrence? And Sister Christian was going to play some like festival there. I was like, that's amazing.
You were in Topeka, Kansas?
No, you know what? It was Lawrence. And yeah, Sister Christian was
Oh,
headlining
Lawrence.
their like fair, I guess.
Cool.
Oh.
Or not
I
Night
saw
Ranger.
Oreo
sorry,
Speedwagon
Night Ranger.
perform
Night
at a
Ranger.
fair.
Oreo Speedwagon? Are they taking
Yeah.
care of business? Is that them?
No, they're I don't remember.
I
Oh.
can't fight this feeling anymore. Is that them?
That's not Oreo Speedwagon.
I'm
thought
sorry.
Oreo Speedwagon. What? Sorry, what?
Can we talk about the fact that Vanessa is wearing an Argyle sweater?
It looks like my socks.
Is that a cardigan?
It's a cardigan. Yep, it's a very lovely cardigan, and it has this beautiful.
Oh, it's a Harry Potter.
It's not a Harry
themed.
Potter.
Oh, that's
Umbrella Academy.
Umbrella
Academy.
It is.
Oh,
It's
it
an
is.
Umbrella Academy.
I said that as a
cardigan.
joke.
Oh, Vanessa, you were correct. Can't Fight This Feeling is an Aria Speedwagon song.
Vindication. Vindication.
We're doing
Oh,
this
it's
again.
Vanessa's Vindication quarter again.
Take It on the Run is the one I always remember.
What about Band on the Run?
Band
Isn't that the band?
on the run.
Is that the band?
No, that's Wings.
I think it is.
Oh.
Oh. Wings is the band that sings it.
Isn't that Paul McCartney's band?
It
Yeah.
sure is.
Wow. Music Roots
Yes.
this week on Square Roots.
Do you want to slide right into some HGN?
Yeah.
Well, do you think he wants to talk about what this show's about, or is he never going to do that?
I'm not doing it again. Ever.
Did you mute Matt?
No?
Oh, okay.
No, Matt is just silently trying to encourage us to gaslight Jim with him.
Yeah.
We're not going to do it.
Again. You're not going to do it again, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Only once per episode.
Hey, the first time I genuinely couldn't remember if he'd said it or not.
An exciting one for me after I did that Switch review of the definitive edition of GTA 3. I'm going to have to update it, but you know what? I'm going to do that. I've already recorded most of the footage for it. I'm going to just knock that out real quick and get in that algorithm train on Bears and Games Neo because all of the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy definitive editions have been updated and they're good now. Like they completely rebuilt those games. It's
Sorry, exciting what for you?
exciting for me that I can have an opportunity to post a video that's going to be super trending on the algorithm. That's why I'm excited.
I'm so confused. This feels like a non sequitur.
I'm talking about hot gaming news, about how they've completely
Oh.
Rockstar has completely rebuilt the the Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition trilogy. And they
And is
play a
that
lot
because
better.
the
Completely
original...
rebuilt.
Does that mean that the original remake was too woke, and so they felt like they had to...
It just was not a very good port, and they have redone it, and now it looks way more like the original Xbox and PS2 versions. It controls better, the frame rate's better, it's got the like distance fog, so you can't just see everything all at once, and it runs better because of that, which is good. The textures are better. They fixed most of the crappy AI upscaled textures, but you'll be happy to know Irish pasta is still there.
I'm so happy to know. Guys, what's Irish pasta?
I
There-
don't know. And I
there
definitely
was
watched his review, but I still don't know what he's talking
there's
about.
an AI, so they used AI upscaling to make like the PS2 era textures go up to 4K, but it took one sign that said fresh pasta and mozzarella and then just made it say Irish pasta and mozzarella. So but that's still
That's
there.
better.
They didn't fix that.
That's a better change.
I like it.
Anyway, I think that's news that's interesting to Johnny.
It
what- is
was.
there-
No, that's cool. I'm interested in that. I haven't really played many of those games. I don't like them very much, but I always am like looking at them, you know? Like maybe one of these days.
I've played probably more than I should have because I had a friend who was very into them. But I never finished one because
Yeah,
I'm
we
not
know.
very
His
good
name is
at
Johnny
them.
Brandon.
His name is Johnny Brandon. I'm not good at them. I don't like cars or driving. And
Didn't you
they
finish
just-
San Andreas?
No, and I don't like to be a bad boy. I like to be a good girl.
I just don't care for like crime drama stuff. Like it just does not click with me.
I like the games. I think they're fun to play.
They
Oh,
are.
what a
Do any
fucking
of you crazy.
Soy boy beta cuck take from Jim Banks.
I have a hot gaming news.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matt mentioned, I think it was last week, that Ghostface is coming to Mortal Kombat.
Uh-huh.
The devs said in a thing, I think it was a video yesterday or today, that that Ghostface, there's actually 3 Ghostfaces. Like there's a Ghostface,
movie that was terrible.
and then there's 2 other Ghostfaces that are actually existing Mortal Kombat characters from other games, but they're not revealing who they are yet.
That's kind of funny.
So that is fun. Yeah, they're kind of bringing the whodunit, like who is Ghostface element of the Scream movies to the game, and I think that's really clever.
I
Do
think
they like tag team out?
No, I think I think they do actually. I think
they have
that's how
the
it works.
cameo system that's basically like an assist system.
Yeah, and one of the fatalities shows like a character being stabbed by Ghostface in the match, and then it zooms out and it shows the character playing Mortal Kombat on their TV, and then Ghostface comes up behind them while they're playing it, and then stabs them again.
Actually,
Yeah. It's a very meta fatality.
They
It's
have
pretty
managed to
cool.
make this interesting to me somehow.
Yeah.
Well, what I like to
Still not
think
gonna buy
is
the
this
game,
means it is now canon that Laurie Metcalf is in Mortal Kombat. Like I said that before.
Well, there have been many wears of the Ghostface mask.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe
but
it's Jack
obviously the
Quaid.
best one is Laurie Metcalf.
Jack Quaid.
Skeet Ulrich.
Boy,
You know
that
what I was
new
thinking?
Scream was really bad. So
I haven't seen.
Oh, that most recent one was dog shit.
After like that one year where Nick Holt was in every movie, why isn't he in movies anymore? Where's the
He is. He was just in a movie that came out in theaters like 2 weeks ago.
what movie?
Yeah.
Juror number 2, directed by Clint Eastwood.
That's
oh,
right.
the
I saw
Rural
that.
Juror?
Yeah, the
Royal
Royal
Juror?
Juror.
Where it's like, I actually did the crime,
Yeah.
and I'm a juror.
Tagline for it because it was like a juror realizes he did the crime. I'm like, what do you mean he realizes it? Like,
People are saying it's a really good movie, though.
I mean, that's an
Okay.
interesting premise, at least. That's novel.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And Nicholas Holt has another movie coming out in like 6 weeks. It's called Nosferatu.
Oh, that looks
Ooh.
fucking good.
It does.
He also was in that terrible Renfield movie that
Yeah, I was gonna say, you
turned
already
off
played
halfway
Renfield.
through.
Yeah, that movie was.
Nosferatu is not Dracula. There's not a Renfield in that.
y'all ever seen Runaway Jury with John Cusack?
World Juror?
Yeah, I remember. I hated that. I went through a phase when I was like in probably grade school, 6th grade, where I read like 20 John Grisham novels.
Yeah.
And that was one of my favorite ones. And then I was like, oh, they're making a movie about it. And I saw the movie and I was like, this sucks.
I love that movie. I think it's fantastic.
On one of my first dates ever, I went to go see The Rainmaker, and I think I fell asleep.
Oh.
Band on
Any
the
other
run.
hot gaming news from the crowd? Oh, there was a casting announcement for Lara Croft today.
Oh my
Whoa.
God, that's my hot
It's got to be
gaming
somebody
news.
Oh.
amazing, like a great actress that can definitely carry that role, right?
Yeah, it's Soapy Turner.
Soapy Turner?
I don't
Soapy
think it's
Turner.
quite a casting announcement. It's saying that she's in heavy negotiations. You know, it's like
Oh.
a casting hint.
Well, I'm sure that the backlash that's definitely going to appear online will squash that. You know what I mean?
Well, she's white and attractive. I mean, what's there to be angry about?
I think she's British, so.
I wanted to talk about this
British people can be
story
white.
just because
Well,
of this
yeah, but-
quote from her.
I just meant that, Lara Croft is British, so. At least they didn't cast ScarJo or somebody. Actually, I would love that.
Oh,
I want to talk about this news just because of this quote from her, and it goes like this. Laura Croft
Fart,
means
fart,
a lot
my
to
butt,
me
my
as
butt.
she
Vanessa's face.
I'm with Vanessa on this one.
I'm not going to do it.
You're with her in what way? I don't understand.
Anyone else have any hot gaming news?
No,
Yes.
that was the thing. How dare you?
I'm not going to do it. No. If you
All
don't
right,
want
fine.
to hear
I'll
what I
read the
have to
quote.
say, then I'm not going to say it.
Was it, I think Lara Croft is fine or something? It was something very bland.
It was like Lara Croft is very important to me as a woman who grew up in Hollywood.
I think
No,
We're all
Angelina-
looking at
not.
Vanessa, and she's refusing to engage, which
I
is...
think Angelina Jolie was a good Lara Croft, but those movies weren't very good.
No.
I agree with
I don't think Sophie Turner's a very good actress, but to be fair, I don't know that she's had a lot of chance to shine. You know, the character that she played in Game of Thrones is the blandest character, and she played Jean Grey, who I love, in the X-Men semi-reboots, but those movies were dog shit. So is that on her? I don't think so. I'm not super excited about that casting announcement, but I'll check it out. Maybe she'll be great.
I have some hot gaming news.
Go
Okay.
ahead, Johnny.
Nintendo released a PSA this week on their Japanese Twitter saying that dog saliva and urine, or pet saliva and urine, can irreparably damage a Nintendo Switch. So keep your dog away from it. And they had a little drawing of a dog drooling on a Joy-Con, and it's really cute.
Oh,
Do you want to see the dog drooling on the Joy-Con, Vanessa?
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Okay, well.
All right, I'll put that into the chat. One moment, please. I can't believe I closed chat. Probably that
Oh.
dumb metaphor. Here we
Maybe
go.
Slammed it closed in outrage.
There you go.
that looks like a fox.
It's supposed to be like a
It's
Shiba
so
Inu.
drooly.
Mm-hmm.
Yuck.
Apparently, Nintendo has been receiving a lot of chewed on, peed on, drooled on, broken Switches.
Ew.
Hence the
You can't
PSA.
just have your dog chew it up and then send it back to Nintendo. That's not how the Joy-Con replacement program works.
It's true.
We
I don't
could
think
try.
Japan ever got it. I think that was like United States and Canada only. Because we're very litigious around here.
I'm outraged. I'm outraged about the mistreatment of Joy-Cons. I'm outraged about the mistreatment of dogs. I'm mostly outraged about the mistreatment of me.
Imagine sending your Joy-Con that stinks of pee to Nintendo and being like, replace this, please.
I was reading about someone talking about how like the percentage of game consoles that this service that repairs consoles receive that have roaches in them, and it's like
Ew.
20% or something.
Johnny.
Yeah, I would imagine. That's gross.
Jim. No.
That's probably
Hey,
what's
I-
wrong with my Xbox, actually.
Actually, I used to work when I was before, like, after college, I worked for like a cable company for like 8 months.
Oh, no,
and
those
I had to
boxes.
work. I worked in their little office, and people bring back their cable boxes. Those things more often than not had roaches in them.
No.
They were disgusting.
Did you have to like put a little
Gross.
fumigation room set up?
Yeah, they had to go directly back into like their own room, and then there was someone on the tech team who was responsible for like cleaning them out before they sent them back to whatever warehouse.
This is so upsetting. What if there's
was
a
gnarly.
roach in my cable box and I don't even know?
Do you
You have a cable
roaches?
box, nerd?
I guess I don't have a cable box and I don't have roaches.
It
Sometimes
reminds me
there's
of
one in
a-
the basement that like comes in from the outside, but it's not a house roach. It's like an outside roach.
I live in Florida, so roaches are basically just part of your life.
Yeah.
Which is, they
On
live
the couch behind Jim, there's some animal just really having a good time, like stretching.
Oh, it's a giant roach.
and rolling.
Yeah.
That's a Denver.
The last dinosaur?
Denver. See?
That story reminds me of a friend of mine that worked in tech support for a national pharmacy chain. And more than once he had calls where they were complaining that their printers weren't working and were only printing red.
Oh no.
Yeah. Only to find out that the reason they were printing red is that there were dead rats inside.
Oh
Gross.
no. That sounds like a Stephen King story.
It does.
That happened more than one time.
So happy.
Yeah, that's a Stephen King short story.
The world is terrible. Oh no.
Did you
I have
unplug
a
it and
piece
plug
of-
it back in? It's still printing red. We're gonna come in. We're gonna check it out.
I have a hot gaming news.
Ooh, let's hear it.
So, as you guys know, Mass Effect Day was last week.
That's right.
Whoa.
And they didn't give an update on the new Mass Effect that they are in development with, but there was a social media update that had a lot of the fans abuzz. A megastar actor tweeted about Mass Effect on that day, which is leading fans to believe that he might be interested in being in the new show that they just announced on Amazon.
Was it Tom Cruise?
Can you guess who it is?
Tom Cruise.
Megastar.
Megastar.
The biggest star I can think of is
Nicholas Hoult.
Garrett Dillahunt.
Bill Skarsgård.
Nope.
David
not yet
Dastmalchian.
anyway. He would play Morden Solus. No, it's John Cena.
Oh yeah, I remember that he plays games.
I would. Who's that really buff dude that Freddie Prinze Jr. voices in the third one? I bet he
Iron
would
Bull.
play
Oh,
that guy
yeah.
pretty well.
Oh,
Sort of assuming that they're going to just be in the Mass Effect world and not follow Shepard or any existing characters.
Yeah, they have already told that story.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're assuming that. I think your assumption is
Yeah.
wrong.
yeah, I think Matt's
think-
right.
It would be interesting to like pull in some of the actors from it, like Yvonne Stravinsky, is that her name? Something like that, who played Miranda.
Ooh.
Yvonne.
Oh yeah, I like her.
Oh yeah.
Strahovski, who is on Handmaid's Tale, and she's fantastic on it. It would be fun to see her do Miranda live action
She was in Chuck.
if the camera
I
could
think,
get away from her butt.
I think John Cena's a good actor, actually. I like him a lot in that Suicide Squad movie and that Peacemaker show. He's,
I think in the last 5 years, he's like Dave Bautista. He's become a legitimately good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not with as much gravitas as
No,
Dave
I
Bautista
agree.
has, but I think he's great in everything I've seen him in recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he
There's
seems to,
one more hot
genuinely
gaming
work
news.
on it.
Yeah. He seems to be trying. One more hot gaming news. This one's from a couple weeks ago, but I don't think I ever mentioned it. So there's been a God of War show in development at Amazon for like 2 or 3 years.
oh my God, is John Cena going to play the God of War?
No, they announced a couple weeks ago that everything they've done up to this point, which was like I think some treatments for some scripts, maybe an outline, they're trashing all of it and starting over
Oh,
again.
wow.
But they're
Yeah.
like they're fast tracking the development, I believe. So that'll be interesting.
Well, long run, that's
TV
not
show.
a bad thing. Like, if they don't think it's
No.
working, then fucking dump it.
Yeah, it seems like they're really trying to get it right, which is pretty cool. And that would make a really cool TV series if it was done,
But only if it was in the God of War world and not. They already told that story, so they can't do it again.
Yeah,
Wow.
maybe it's like another Kratos adventure you haven't heard of yet. Like, what happens between God of War 3 and God of War
Oh, here's
reboot?
a suggestion:
Who knows?
God of War babies.
Ooh, God of War babies. Like a baby Kratos. Like a Muppet Babies kind
God
of
of
thing.
War babies, we
Babies,
make
who
the
make your
world come
dreams
true. Na, na, na.
Doody wop.
Dopsy doody wop.
Well, we ready to get into the quest log?
Yeah. Let's do it.
No,
don't
Let's
remember-
do it.
we're not, because we have a stream to plug.
Oh.
Whoa, that's right. And that stream is called Bears in Games.
Yay! That's not a stream, that's a channel.
All right, it's a channel. It's not a stream. Our good friend, I don't know if you've ever heard of him before. He's new to this show. He's a baby fresh eyes. He's new to the world. Johnny Brandon has a hot new channel on YouTube called Bears in Games Neo, where he releases hot new eps about Grand Theft Auto, I guess. Is that all you do? Because that's all you've done. recently.
Yeah,
You've done for me
but
lately.
hey, it's not my fault. They just shadow dropped a new version of Definitive Edition. And you gotta
Shadow
keep-
dropped.
I
You
agree
gotta
with
keep-
that. It is not Johnny's fault that they dropped a new edition of Grand
Shadow
Theft Auto,
dropped.
and I'm tired of people saying that it is.
It's interesting because I heard online in the rumor mill that they did ask Johnny Brandon if they could do this because he
Yeah.
had just released an episode and he was like, no way.
I like to think someone at Rockstar saw Johnny's video and they're like, we can't stand for this asshole making fun of our game, and then they're like, we got to start from the ground up, and then they fast tracked it.
Yeah.
This
And
is
then they went back in
slander.
time
It is
2
not
years.
Johnny's fault. I'm not having it.
Hashtag not Johnny's fault.
Listen, my job on the Bears and Games Neo channel is just to speak truth to power, and that's what I do.
It's brave.
Really, I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I am still working on that script for The Simpsons Hit and Run. I'm only at 2,000 words, and we all know that's not enough. How many words did Yuna sing about? Was it 10,000?
I don't know. The only song I know about words
That was
is
10,000
More Than
Fireflies.
Words.
Yeah, that was 10,000 fireflies, John.
I think it was 1,000.
You won't believe your
words.
eyes.
And that's not
with
enough, you know.
10 million fireflies.
You know, you can't have a good video essay with only 1,000 words. On silver wings, 1,000 words. Remember that? Remember that amazing concert that we put on in Final Fantasy X2, Vanessa? It was just you and me by the end of that series.
I do remember that.
Anyway,
Well, I think
there's
Jim was dead
also
at the time.
Nat just finished on the Square Roots podcast YouTube channel. Silent Hill 2. Last night he finished it.
Well, not last night when this episode releases.
Well, last night when we recorded.
Last
and
week.
He got the ending Leave. And Jim linked us to a series of videos on interpreting the endings. I watched them all last night.
Pretty neat, right? I thought that was a good
we
video.
did. Yep, that's right. We have a Square Root stream. If you like the podcast, please come join us on YouTube. It's live, but obviously you can watch it afterwards. We don't delete them or put them to unlisted and then forget about it. So
Sometimes you got to edit those videos, man. Sometimes there's slip-ups.
Yeah, sometimes.
Wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah,
I did
wardrobe
finish-
malfunctions.
I did finish Silent Hill 2 last week. It was fun. I'm glad I wrapped it up. I've got I think I have 2 or 3 episodes of Illusion of Gaia left, and I just don't want to have any hanging chads, if you know what I mean. I
too
did really
soon.
enjoy Silent Hill 2. It was really good. And also, unfortunately, I got the Leave ending and not the best ending of the game, obviously. The dog ending.
Can you get the dog? How do you get the dog ending anyway, Jim?
Yeah, how do you get that?
There's like some stuff you have to pick up in
Dog food?
like a subsequent
treats?
playthrough.
Oh, so it has to be a second playthrough?
Yeah, you can't get it on the first playthrough.
That makes sense. Imagine if you could, and then that was just your experience with the game. And you
That would be amazing, Vanessa. The skill in which they put that pizza rotating over the picture of Eddie, or how the dog growls at Eddie.
Anyway, we have a weekly stream that we do on YouTube. Search up Square Roots Podcasts on YouTube, where we being Jim, Johnny, and I are playing various RPGs for the most part, one chunker at a time, just like we do on the podcast, and just kind of chatting with our audience and having a good time. Currently, our series is Illusion of Gaia. I've got a couple episodes of that left, and then I believe it'll be Jim, I think, playing Kingdom Hearts 2. Is that your plan, to continue that?
I'm not sure. Maybe. That would
Wow.
take a really long time, though.
Yeah, but I want that.
I mean, I'm fine with it.
I loved it. It was a good time. We did one episode last weekend, and it was a good fun time. You
it
can
was
check that out, and whatever. We'll figure that out in the future, but come check us out. YouTube, Square Roots Podcast, and also Bears and Games Neo. And now we may move on to the quest log.
Thank
Mother,
you
may
so
I?
much for your
Vanessa,
permission.
sing us the quest log song, please. Permission.
When it's time to sing the song, but there's no music in my heart. I draw on my pool of rage from the time when Matt said fart, 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 and I sing the quest log song. Everybody sing along. When it seems the world's gone wrong, you can count on quest log song. Quest log song, here we go. It's just me and my bros and the quest log. Just
Yay!
How dare you interrupt her while she's singing?
He didn't. He was cheering me.
Yeah, that's what people do at the end of
Alright.
songs, Matt.
So, as you recall, last time Daud was feeling real bad about killing Jessamine.
And a whale.
He went around to find out who Delilah was, and he couldn't even really do it. And then at the end, his best friend Billy was like, I know Delilah. And then Delilah poofed in, and she's like, it's me, Delilah! Goodbye! And she poofed away. So, we joined Daud again, and he is about to fight Corvo to the death. Oh my god. And Corvo barges into his office, and he's like blinking around, and he's slowing time, and you're sword battling him, and it's very intense. And Corvo's about to get the best of him and raises his blade in the air, and Daud wakes up. It was just a dream.
Whew. Whew.
Phew. Daud wakes up. We're told that one of his assassins has a little report for him. You don't have to listen to it right away. You can wander around. You can find his special journal, which recounts or perhaps tells you for the first time, if you're Johnny, what happened in Knife of Dunwall.
Well, I'm sure some people would have bought that the second one, not realizing it's part 2. You know.
Yeah. I guess it's worth reiterating that Johnny played this before he played Knife of Dunwall. So, Johnny, were you surprised then by the sort of launching into Daud's story in this DLC?
Yeah, it was an interesting. I was like, okay, well, 'cause it actually kind of made sense because it sort of starts right where the game left off, with the fight with Corvo, or does that happen at the end? Yeah, so that's why I was like, oh, this makes sense. And it seemed like he was in the middle of a lot of stuff. It's like, well, that's weird. But there's a journal that explains where he's at. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, why does it mention this character that you never see? That seems like a weird narrative choice.
That there's some big character named Delilah that everyone is talking about.
And Billy.
And Billy, that's right. And the betrayal by Billy. Oh, well. Things happen.
I would like to see a Dishonored game about her. She seems pretty cool.
Well, boy, do I have some good news for you.
Oh.
Billy is the protagonist of Dishonored 3.
Oh, I thought... Wait, real? There is a Dishonored 3?
Yes, it's called Death of the Outsider.
I thought that was
not
DLC.
a Dishonored 3.
That's its own game. It's a full
It's
game.
its own game.
Huh. Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
It
I
is
think
definitely
she's actually
not
really
a
fun to play
full game.
It
is a
own
DLC.
thing. You can buy it in a box. You can put it in your game system. You can play it without ever having played Dishonored 2. It's not a DLC.
Vanessa?
It is a DLC. The fact that they later released it as its own thing does not make it not a DLC.
So Portal 2 isn't its own game because it was part of the Orange Box?
That was Portal 1.
Exactly.
You're right.
Portal
That was
1 is
Portal
not
1.
its own game. It's
Wow.
called
Wow.
Orange Box.
Wow, this is
I've got a...
crazy
I've got a
hot
question for
take.
you, Vanessa.
Uh,
It might not be entirely germane to the Brigmore witches, but
mhm.
do you? Well, it kind of is if you think about it. Has enough
All right, I'll
time
think about it.
passed for you to enjoy David S. Pumpkins again without having flashbacks?
As a matter of fact, Johnny, just a couple of weeks ago, I watched a compilation of David S. Pumpkin's sketches right before Halloween, and I enjoyed them very much.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I feel like enough time's passed for me where it's not just immediate haunting flashbacks, and I'm not even American.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about me flashing back to. There's nothing wrong with David S. Pumpkins.
Well, it's what happened like 3 days later.
Nothing happened.
Okay. Good.
Nothing happens, Johnny.
I said
Nothing's
okay,
happened.
good.
Everything's fine.
Yep. So,
David S. Pumpkins, funny, silly, funny, fun. That's what we have here.
Silly, funny fun.
Uh-huh.
Why would David S. Pumpkins give her flashbacks?
Don't worry about it, Jim.
Oh, okay.
And Jim's here, too. So, after we wander around, read Dowd's secret diary, pick up some runes and stuff, we talk to Thomas, who I guess is our new best friend now that Billy's gone.
Yeah.
And Thomas says, hey, yeah, Delilah's totally in Brigmore. It's up the river.
Hey,
There's
yeah.
a problem. Like, we just can't get there. I know, we don't have a horse or anything. And the only way upriver is past this blockade. But you're going to need a really skilled smuggler to get you there. Luckily, Daud knows a very skilled smuggler named Lizzie Stroud. And she can definitely get him there. No problem.
Now, after Thomas says, hey, yeah, did he also warn you that he was about to break this thing down in just a few seconds?
Uh-huh.
And that he wants to see you on your baddest behavior?
He did. He said that he was Dowd's next door neighbor and lend him some sugar. So Dowd's best bet, Lizzie Stroud. There's one problem. She's in jail.
Jail?
Yeah,
Is it the same jail that Corvo was in?
sure is.
Yay!
Yay!
I think it's
Tie-in.
called Colgate Prison.
Yes.
Coldridge.
Coldridge.
Colgate Prison.
Colgate Prison. Like with toothpaste.
The cavity monsters are guarding it.
I wonder if
Warden Oral-B.
it would be kind of amazing if in the near future prisons got sponsor names like stadiums, so you'd have like the Bitcoin Federal
feel like
Detention Center.
That's the kind of joke that really worked in, like, Upload leans on that joke a lot, that TV show, the Amazon one, and so does like Idiocracy.
Are you telling me that this joke has been told before?
That corporate sponsorship of just random things, yes.
Wow, nothing is new. Why do I even bother?
That's what Shakespeare
So-
said. Nothing is new. Why do I even bother?
That's
William
exactly
Shakespeare.
verbatim. I mean, Burger Time. It's a Burger Time quote from William
Burger
S.
Time.
Shakespeare. I'm William S.
The S is for
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
William Shakespeare. And the actors are part of it. All right, I'll stop. Prison time. So, it's time to go to prison. I really like this because, as with the last DLC, we get to buy some favors at the top of the mission, and the best favor, hands down, that you can buy in either of these DLCs is a super cute little overseer outfit for Daud.
Whoa.
Yay!
We finally get our Hitman style costume change.
You know, Daud really puts the U into dad.
Yeah. I
Do you
can't argue
pronounce
with
it
that.
Dowd? Is it? Are we saying Dowd?
Yeah.
How would
else
you pronounce
say
it? Yeah.
I don't know. Dodd.
Dad?
Daud.
Dodd.
I don't
Daddy?
think anyone in the game says Daud. Doddy.
Dowdy.
Dowdy. Dowdy.
Howdy Dowdy.
Yeah, I definitely. That was a favor, right? To go in as an
Yeah,
overseer
dressed
to
in the
investigate
costume.
a secret crime.
I'm sorry. I want to circle back on this. They definitely say his name many times
Yeah,
in this
it's Daud.
game. And it is Daud.
Yeah. Maybe I just never paid attention.
Did
Dowdy.
anyone not dress up in his fancy costume?
I definitely did.
Why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah.
I was just imagining Matt just chose the Terminator route and chose the favor where he gets to drive an old Chevy Caprice into the station after saying, "I'll be back."
I mean, I definitely did, but like, I did play dress up first so that I could scout the place out. Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of killing them all when they don't know what's going on.
Mm.
I mean, that's just good gameplay.
Stow dresses up in his cute little suit and goes to meet the guards on the bridge outside the prison. He can't use his powers outside of the prison because they're playing that overseer music over the speakers. It's very
I mean, he
rude,
can.
not cool.
He
He
can.
can.
Yeah, you have to kill the
Everyone?
overseers that are playing the
Oh.
music.
Oh, okay. So, at this point, let's say he can't. But you
Yeah,
talk
for
to
sure
a guard
at this
on
point.
You talk to a guard on the bridge, and they say, "Hey, we're so glad you're here, Mr. Overseer. There's been some suspect activity in the prison, so we need you to come in and investigate whether or not anything occult happened. But you're only allowed to go to this particular place that we're going to bring you to. Don't wander around. Don't do anything weird. This is a prison." But they don't confiscate your weapons, which is pretty cool of them. Like, they're
Oh,
pretty
you're
chill
an
guys.
overseer.
Yeah. I guess if a priest goes to a prison, you don't take away his Glock. So,
What about, what about if a monk and a rabbi are with him?
well, then a priest, a monk, and a rabbi walk into a jail.
Mm-hmm.
The priest says, "Oh, I can be forgiven for my crimes." The rabbi says, "The only crimes are those enumerated in the Torah, and I didn't commit those."
Mm-hmm.
And the monk says,
Doesn't say anything because he's silent.
Yeah.
Actually, the way I heard it is the priest and the monk can't cross into the chapel together, but the monk and the rabbi also can't cross into the monastery together. So how are you going to get all three in there when you can't leave two of them
It's a
together
prison.
at the same time?
Oh, that's a great
Prison.
question. I think that you just have the monk meditate, and then he believes he's already across the river. And
Excuse
then
me.
you just take the... Yeah?
The weird Christian youth group I went to, they said meditation was leaving your soul open to the demons to take over.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
No, you have to take the monk and the rabbi, and then you bring the rabbi back with you, and then you take the monk and the priest.
You
and
can't take
then...
the monk then because you've left the monk behind. Your logical fallacies have already fallen apart. Your boat sinks. The scorpion stings you. You ask, why would you do this? The scorpion says it's in his nature, and you all drown.
Wow,
So
Vanessa's
the-
hot take on religion.
The overseer.
Yeah,
So
that's dark.
they're like, "Oh, thank goodness you're here." There's a
Yeah, thank goodness you're here.
yeah. There's you need to figure out what's going on in this interrogation room. We sent two guys in, and they never came out.
Thank goodness You're Here
terrible.
is a show on Netflix, and it's like the exact opposite of I Think You Should Leave, where everybody's just so nice to each other. But it's uncomfortable because you're like, can you fucking please stand up for yourself?
No, Matt, it's the one where you fix the ticking clock.
Boom, 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 boom.
That's a good point. You got me. You got me there.
So we're led back into the prison. There is a little trouble. There's an arc pylon sort of in between the entry to the prison and the interrogation room. And Daud, who is not a silent protagonist like Corvo, happily tells us or thinks at us, oh, the arc pylon will see through my disguise. So we have to get past that somehow.
I just walked past
like
it.
this.
I don't understand what I did, but it didn't kill me.
I like that Daud is not a silent protagonist. I don't think it really bothered me as much during Dishonored, but having somebody that can just be like, hey, this is a bad idea. It's pretty good.
Corvo's talking in Dishonored too, right? Isn't he talking? He's a chatty cat.
I believe you mean Emily?
I've never played Dishonored 2 as Corvo, and I never will.
Yeah. Why would you play the worst version of the game?
It's basically the same.
So we go on back to the interrogation room, and there's a tree back there. There's just a full-on tree, what grew up in that room. We should say that at this point, Corvo has already escaped from the prison. That's why the security is so tight.
Okay, but Vanessa, seriously, it did. How come the arc pylon didn't hurt me? I don't get it.
Well, I don't know,
'Cause the game
Johnny.
is
Maybe it was
buggy
powered
and-
down.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Or they turned it. Do they turn
wasn't
it off
on.
when you first walk in? Because they escorted me all the whole way. They didn't say like, watch out for that pylon.
Yeah, I think
Vanessa,
they talk
as the
about how it's
developer
like-
of the game, can you
Yeah.
please explain this inconsistency?
So
Yeah.
this whole, I thought the interrogation room, like I was looking around there for 20 minutes trying to figure out what I was supposed to investigate here. There's a burnt body in the chair. She was a witch, I guess.
Yep.
It seems to be the case, because you can listen to the audio of the interrogation, and they're questioning her, and then her eyes start glowing, and the tree, I guess, grows into the room.
And it somehow, you see a lot of bodies.
Yeah, there's a couple bodies in there. My guess is that she sort of self-immolated and grew a tree.
I was going to say, I'm sure that there burnt bodies. I'm sure there was
Yeah,
some
she was
fire.
dead. She was super dead. But
Well,
there
if
was,
you had a
I thought there was gonna
tree
be,
grow out of your tummy, you also would be super dead.
but it seemed like, because they're like, oh, we aren't going in there until you tell us what's up. But there's nothing really to do there. I thought there was like some climbing you could do, but there's nowhere you can go. You can climb for a little bit up, but there's nothing to
Yeah.
do up
Yeah,
there.
no, it's just an excuse to get you into the prison so that you can go do your mission.
Well,
Yeah.
I wanted to do the overseer mission as well, and there wasn't
You
much
wanted to do a good job as the overseer.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
You can't. So we need to sneak out of there and into the cell area. There's it's pretty easy because there's a big open space. There's like a
Yeah.
door with bars and a guard in front of it, but you can just blink up over it and be in the cells.
And then get behind the guard and kill him.
You can,
Or put them all
give
to
them a
sleep.
special hug and put them to sleep.
And now there's so many more ways to put people to sleep. It's not just sleepy darts and special hugs. There's also sleepy gas and sleepy mines, which I don't know, I must have got an upgrade because at the end of the Knife of Dunwall, it was zapping more than one person, which is amazing because you can like make a noise and someone's like, "What was that?" Zzzt. Uh-oh, what happened to my friend? Zzzt.
Sleep time. There's lots of different cells, and we need to figure out which one Lizzie is in, which you do by just
Some of them have
wandering around.
treasure.
Some
Yeah,
of
some
them
of them
have
have
treasure.
treasure.
Some of them have baddies. some of the baddies are like, hey, what's up? It's pretty cool that you're sneaking around here. There's at least one guy who will be like, yay, someone's out of their cell, guard, total narc.
What a narc.
Really respect that. I love snitching.
Yeah, I was going to say, I believe that character's name is
be me.
Vanessa.
I did like going. So there's one right when you get into the prison. There's a guard like harassing a prisoner, and I went up and gave him a special hug, and the prisoner just didn't react to it. And I was like, oh, I kind of hope there would be some special dialogue for the prisoner watching you strangle out this guard who was yelling at him. But no, nothing really happened.
Nope, he's just like, another day in paradise, am I right? So once you figure out what cell Lizzie is in, you make a note of the letter and number that corresponds with it. Go back to sort of outside the interrogation room, and you can open her cell by dialing in the letter and number.
Oh, I liked this. I liked this little. It's not really a puzzle, but I liked that you had to like figure out the. Puzzle. Yeah, it's not really a puzzle, but it's. I like that you had to like go dial in the cell number so that you could open the door. Like, it was neat.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like with Daud, you can be a bit more, I don't know, heavy-handed with things. Like, just
I think
because you can add more sleep darts and stuff, you can really just barge into a room and then be like, psst, 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 and everyone's all sleeping.
I did make sure that I opened every single cell that didn't have someone in it so I could get all of the goodies and treasures.
Yeah, you got the Splinter one, the dead one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's another? There's another. Got to be another cell, right?
There's
the soft one.
Yeah. There's Tainted. Is that no? That's something else.
That's soft.
Yeah, you're right. Phone?
Don't know that one.
You know, cell phone.
Dura.
So, after we open Lizzie's cell, we go to chat with her, and she is she's in her cell, she's also in some stocks, and she's in rough shape, and she's like, what are you doing here? Are you here to kill me? And you're like, nope, I'm here to... Everyone who sees Daud assumes that he's there to kill them.
Yeah.
Well, he is an assassin.
Yeah.
Famous assassin.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, no, I just want your boat. And she's like, sucks to be you. My treacherous second in command took my boat. But if you get me out of here, I'll get it back for you and take you wherever you want to go. And then she passes out. She just full on collapses, which is extremely inconvenient. Because now we have to haul her body all the way out of the prison.
Well, it's not that.
It's pretty
bad.
fun. It's pretty fun. You can just kind of like dump her on like windowsills and ventilation systems on the ceiling, and then hop down and murder everybody around, and then hop back up and pick her back up. It's actually pretty easy.
Yeah, I found this really easy. All I had to do was if you stick to because she's already on the third floor, right? Or is she on the second floor? Yeah, she's on the third floor, so you can just take like the U-shaped bend or the L-shaped bend around, and then because you can blink while carrying someone, you can just blink up to the ventilation system over the doors, and then blink basically all the way to the exit, and then you just have to make a run or dive down some water, and you can do that while carrying her, so it's fine.
I carried her out sort of into the side yard, and there was a full-on execution going on out there. Did any of you run into this?
No.
Yeah. There's a bone charm underneath the guillotine.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't care about bone charms, so I wasn't going out of my way to grab them.
Oh, wow. Hot take. There's some guards who were on duty, I guess, when Corvo escaped. I assume these were the guys that Corvo choked out in the first game.
Well, there was one guy that gave you the key, right? And that's I could be wrong, but I thought that's who they were executing. But maybe I just assumed that.
There were a few of them. So there's the executor, there's the reader of grievances, and the to be executed are all lined up. And you can knock out or kill the executor and the grievance reader. And then the three guys will just sort of like scatter to different places in the yard, and they won't bother you anymore. They'll be like, thanks for saving us, I guess. Like, be on your way.
I've got a question for Matt and Jim. I seem to remember you guys. How do you feel about the reuse of this level? I think it's cool and doesn't feel like cheap. It felt well earned, and I enjoyed exploring it again. But did you feel like it was kind of like them just saving money on the DLC?
To me, the only one that really felt cheap was the reuse in the last chunker, the last part, the redoing Daud's lair. That felt cheap to me. Like they just redid the same level. This, you definitely like it's the same area, but it's so much different. Like you don't get to go visit all these cells and have all this stuff up in the ceiling and the yard with the executions. Like there's a lot here that's not in the original game.
Yeah, and when Corvo
in the original game, that's basically a fucking
powers.
tutorial level.
Yeah. So I feel like coming back here with powers is a different experience too.
Yeah. Well, and also they use that to their advantage to expand this area.
Yeah.
So it didn't bother me here. It did bother me. I don't remember if I mentioned it last week, but it did bother me in Knife of Dunwall when you just redo Daud's level and it's the exact same fucking thing.
I think because I rushed through that level as Corvo, like I just that's why I missed all that stuff like the overseers and everything, because I was just sticking to the rooftops and literally I spent half that mission running from guards. Like I was they were in pursuit of me. I just ran. I had like 10 coming after me and then just blinked away. So I just bolted through it. So it felt like a new level to me.
Mm-hmm.
So we get Lizzie out. We take her down to the river where there's a little boat waiting, and off we go. Once she, I guess, gets herself together, she tells us that we need to go to Draper's Ward to recover her boat and take out her second-in-command, Edgar, who had set her up to be imprisoned.
Now that's named after the head of advertising, Dawn, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
There are a few favors you can buy here. You can get a former laborer from the whale factory, or Abigail Ames to give you like a gift or a favor. Maybe you can do both.
I don't know.
All of these levels have a rune that you can pay like 100 gold for somebody to drop for you, which you would be fucking crazy to not do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Runes are everything.
Yeah.
I really like the look of Draper's Ward. Draper's Ward has a covered arcade, which is one of my favorite things in the world. Put that in your Vanessa notebook.
Does it have Outrun? Does it have like Space Harrier? What's in there?
Galaga.
The TMNT.
Tron. Remember that Tron game with the
what are
little
you, like
dial?
50, Matt? Come on.
Maybe that X-Men beat 'em up.
Yeah, that
X-Men
6-player
beat 'em up,
X-Men.
so good.
A strolling arcade, a city street that has a glass or other kind of cover above it, is closed to traffic and is lined with little adorable shops and restaurants for you to stroll around in.
I don't
Jim.
know what you're talking about. Legitimately, I do not.
Welcome
understand what
to
you're saying
Die.
Excuse me.
From that X-Men game, wasn't it? Welcome to Die.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. I love that game. I like to play as Nightcrawler.
Vanessa, did you ever play that 6-player X-Men game?
I don't know.
It was like
I'm
a
sure I
beat 'em up,
must
and you could
have.
play as like Storm and I think Psylocke. Do you remember who was in that?
Yeah, Psylocke for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Cyclops.
Nightcrawler, Wolverine.
Yeah, Nightcrawler. That's a Vanessa boyfriend right there.
He's a little bit blue.
Only if he's played by Grey Gazoo actor.
WD.
In Vanessa's sexy dreams, just BAMF. You just keep hearing BAMF.
Oh man, both the Nightcrawler and the Grey Gazoo do the bam.
Yeah, they do. You're right.
Wow. Typecasting. I think that this particular arcade looks a lot like Leadenhall Market in London, which I am a fan of. I know it's like just whatever corporate bullshit.
You're such an
Posh
Anglophile.
shops.
Oh my god.
It's beautiful.
Except there is
It's a
that nasty pylon.
mall.
It's an arcade. There's that nasty pylon in the middle of it.
Yes. I guess that's the one arcade game.
When
In
you
the-
step into Draper's Rewards, there's like a big fight between the Hatters and the Eels, and they're like, Hatters,
Yeah.
Eels, Hatters, and they put hat, Eels. And then you just like let them fight. That's what I did. I was like, let them.
Yeah, me too.
Fight. Does that count as low chaos, Vanessa?
Apparently so.
As long as you're not doing the killing. I mean, you can't be responsible for everything that happens in the world. I also let them fight. I actually, because I am a save scummer, let them fight a couple of times, and it is, I think, pretty random who wins this fight.
Huh.
I always love that in games when you like can play factions off each other, like in Doom, where you lead one group to hit the other, and they just all fight for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. It's fun and funny.
I agree.
So we need to kind of get through Draper's Ward. It's divided by a canal. One side is the Hatters, the other side is the Eels.
Hey, Vanessa.
It's pretty... Yeah?
You can't get a canal without seeing anal.
Oh.
Bam! Gotcha!
We're all trying our best.
So... you can wander around here. If you do decide to explore the covered market or arcade, you'll find a door that you can't get through. There's a voice behind it that wants to know the password. You don't know it, and they will not let you in.
And they don't have an open window above the door.
There's no open window above the door. You can't get through. So you have to get to the other side of the canal. Once you're across there, there's a couple of places of interest to visit. There's a guy who is doing sort of a black market business, a little shop.
Mhm.
And then there's, let's call him a tailor. There's a tailor who you can go and visit.
I think you're kind of deliberately obfuscating what he's called.
His name, I don't think he is named. He is
The Royal
running...
Dressmaker?
That's his title. I guess he makes the formal dress, as in clothing.
J'accuse, Vanessa!
You know, like, this is my garb, or my dress, or my clothes, or my formal
Now,
wear.
Let's play the
He
tape
dresses
back.
them.
There are no dresses in the Dishonored universe.
That's the
Oh my
playback.
god, how did you get that recording of me?
Well,
I mean, I
it
guess it's a
turns
podcast.
out
It's pretty easy to get a recording of me.
there are dresses in the Dishonored universe because this man's a dressmaker and talks about making dresses for Jessamine and Emily. And also, he's gone a little cuckoo.
He does have a little tutu.
No, he's gone cuckoo.
Oh. So, yeah, he does say he's a dressmaker. I have never seen any dresses in this world, so I believe that what he means is, like, you know, just dresses and dressing as in what you wear, not as in, like, what we would consider to be a dress. Anyway, he's having a super bad time because somebody came to his shop and sort of hypnotized him or something and made him, like, make a garment or just turn over some thread and things, and they drew occult symbols all over his house, and they nailed a rune to the wall. It's crazy.
He doesn't immediately get better when you take the rune away.
He doesn't, or he does?
He doesn't.
Uh,
He seems a little too obsessed with Emily. Like, even before the rune got nailed to his wall, he was, like, taking her hair and talking about how precious and wonderful she is.
yeah, he said that he had a special keepsake from Emily, a little lock of her hair. But I guess, like, if you were the garment maker for the future Empress, it's a pretty big honor and a big deal, so
I think you mean
I
to
guess-
say dressmaker.
I did not. So I think that, he takes his work seriously and he takes pride in his craft.
Mhm.
After we talk to this guy, we can head on over to the Canal area where Thomas meets us again, and he's like, hey, there's that boat that belongs to Lizzie. I guess the Edgar guy's, like, on it. It's a smuggling ship, so probably there's a hatch underneath if you want. Okay, bye. BAMF. And I just did exactly what he said. I went to the hatch underneath the boat and swam on in there. How about you guys?
That's what I did. I went in there, and then I did knock out Edgar, but then I thought it'd be funny to throw him in the water and see what happens.
What do you think?
What do you mean,
is gonna
see what happens?
I just wanted to see what happened. Oh, maybe you want to go for a little swim. You want to go for a little swim. Look, look.
That's not. Don't try to Mr. Bean this. That's just murder.
That sounds more like Kermit.
I think
Kermit
what
the
Mr.
murderer.
Bean would do is, like, knock someone out and be like, uh-oh, and I'll put them in the water. That will wake them up, surely. And then the guy just, like, doesn't wake out and just sinks to the bottom.
Yeah, because he has a little chat with you when you find him, and he's like, "Do what you will." So I put my knife in his eye.
Oh,
What?
Well,
It was a whole like cutscene of you killing him. It's pretty gnarly.
Wow. How about you, Matt? Did you kill this guy?
I for sure killed this guy. I killed everyone on top of the boat,
Even the younglings.
even the younglings. And then I was like, I hate sand, so I'm going to get in this water and swim below the boat. And then I came up from the bottom and killed the last, I don't know, 2 guys.
I tried to
Wow.
after killing Edgar, and then you have to like sound the horn. I tried to do it stealthily, but everyone just ran
You
at
trying
me.
to sound the horn stealthily?
Yeah, I wanted to stealthily sound the horn because the second you do, then Lizzie comes up and it's like, "Okay, crew, we're all friends now," except I did accidentally kill like half the crew, and I felt real bad about it because if I hadn't, they would've been
I
friends
killed
with me,
all
like,
of them,
20
and she just
seconds
replaces them with new crew. And
You
it's
guys
still
are
like, all right, well,
monsters.
3 of you owe me fingers, and 1 of you owes me fingers and eyes.
Yeah, Lizzie did. She does forgive them, but they do have to give her their fingers just a
Looking
little
at
bit.
you, Amanda, and she's like, "What? I gotta go." She like singles out her bestie, I guess.
Yeah. I did not kill Edgar. I just knocked him out and left him down there very pleasantly asleep. The next time I went to visit him, I guess Lizzie had gone to see him, and he was sort of more dead than
Yeah.
I'd left him.
I realized I didn't knock him out because I do have that picture of me putting a knife through his eye. So I guess I just dumped his body in the water, like Mr. Bean.
Yeah. See if he'll come back
Maybe this
to life.
water will bring him back to life.
And so you're like, okay, time to go upriver, right? And she's like, wrong.
Oh,
Buzzer. She says the Hatters have stolen a very important piece of the engine and taken it to their mill, their textile mill, but she knows the password. So we have to go all the way back and go to the textile mill.
I like
thankfully,
this
it's
bit.
not exactly like a big haul.
I feel like
it's a pretty small level.
The whole Trimble situation seems like a real Vanessa loves it kind of scenario.
I love it. Let me tell you about the Hatters and what's going on here. The Hatters are run by this guy named the Geezer. So Lizzie tells us you gotta go see the Geezer, find out where the engine is, and then bring it back here. So we go to the textile mill, we go to find out what the Geezer is, and we head on up sort of through the mill to his office, and once there I peeked in through the little keyhole, and he's just a very old man. He's a very old man in a chair. He sort of has a tube.
Did Jim leave?
Yeah, he bamfed out of there like Nightcrawler. Or the Great Gazoo.
I know he said that he was going to leave, but I didn't think he would just fucking vanish.
No, he kept to his pledge. I wonder what it is that's on TV that he wants to watch so badly that starts at 9. So the Geezer is in a wheelchair, sort of hooked up to, looks like a sort of life support system, and his lovely Nurse Trimble is there, sort of talking to the Geezer, and we've been told by Lizzie that we can't just kill the Geezer because the Geezer is somehow hooked up to a system that will detect if he dies and release poison in the whole area and kill everyone, including us. So Trimble's sort of taking good care of the Geezer, telling him about everything that's going on, and it seems like a really happy pair to me. What did you think of these two, Johnny?
You know what? It seemed like a healthy relationship. I did like that the Geezer does speak in muttered whispers. Gotta love that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that.
And Trimble, I guess, is sort of the mouthpiece for the Geezer. He just listens to these muttered whispers and then tells everyone what to do.
I'm sure he 100% always says exactly what the Geezer says.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hey, should we address the fact that one of our co-hosts just vanished?
BAMF.
No, nobody cares.
I mean, I feel like people may be curious.
Oh, okay. Goodbye, Jim. Goodbye.
Yeah. I'm off to ride my bicycle. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. So, Matt, what did you think of the Geezer?
I liked this whole thing. I kind of did it backwards. I got up into the little weird room first and took the antidote that would save me from the terrible poison.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went downstairs and he was like, kill me, but you gotta go take this antidote. And I told him well, I did that because I know how to read and I'm not stupid. But then I killed him because he was begging for death. I assume you both did the same because how could you not? Do you not believe in euthanasia?
There's two routes you can take.
Couple of fucking Republicans is what we got here.
You can talk to Nurse Trimble, and Nurse Trimble will say, hey, great to see you, Daud. Thanks for coming. I do have your engine part. I just need you to go to the sewers and find out why the water has stopped, and if you do that for me, I will give you the engine. It'll be great. Or you can sort of distract Nurse Trimble out of the office, or I guess just kill him, and then talk to the Geezer, and the Geezer will be like, hey, what's up, Daud? I'm really excited you're here because all I want is to die and Nurse Trimble won't let me. So please go up to his office, whip yourself up a little antidote to my poison, and then you can kill me and it will be amazing. And I'll give you the code to the room with the engine part. I, of course, went with Nurse Trimble and his plan because
Nurse Ratchet.
I wasn't gonna kill the
You went with
geezer.
Nurse Ratchet and his great plan to continue to torture these senior citizens.
Okay, first of all, it's not
Low
these
chaos, ladies
senior
and
citizens.
gentlemen.
It's one senior citizen, and he's a gang lord. And you know what? Maybe if he stays alive on his wonderful life support, he'll have time to think about what he's done with his life and change, and find some kind of salvation. Also, if you do kill him, everyone in the area who hasn't taken the antidote, which is basically everyone, will die.
Oh no, all of the murderous, thieving gang members will die?
There's some
That's
women working in the
a
factory
bummer.
too. And
Oh,
they
that
sort of
makes
grumble
sense.
about
That makes sense.
yeah, like there's some innocent workers as well. So I did go with
If you're
the
a
Trimble route.
murderous, thieving woman, that's okay, according to Vanessa.
Yeah, actually, because I'm about equality, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
I also wanted to go on a fun sewer adventure. How'd you?
I
wouldn't wanna
love
miss all
fun
that.
sewer adventures. Yeah,
Don't you have to do that either way? Isn't
I
that
I
think
don't
so.
know. Did
I
you
don't
do
know,
it?
Do you?
Did you?
I killed everyone and still had to do the sewer adventure.
Oh, okay. So I guess either way, you need to go on a sewer adventure. And sewer adventure, you head on into the sewers. You find a dead hatter who was, I guess, tasked to go down there and turn on the pump. There's some of those river crusts too, spitting their juice at you.
This is
It's
where I
just
found
so
out that
fucking
they are
annoying.
weak to bullets.
What were you doing before?
Trying to non.
They're also weak to crossbow bolts.
but
You
they're
are
very weak to
non-lethally killing the
I'm
fucking...
joking. I'm joking. No. I just ran away from them before because I was worried about the noise that the gun would make. But it's fine.
Oh, they're weak to crossbow bolts as well.
Mm-hmm. And sword. Well, no, not really, because they'll close up.
Yeah.
Get too close to them, you can't really sword them.
Mhm.
So we will wander through the sewers until we find this room with a mysterious woman in the middle of it.
Yeah,
And
she
sort of-
needs help. She's
She says she hurt her leg.
Mhm.
Very relatable, very upsetting for me to see.
Mhm.
Very terrible. So when I saw her, I thought, well, what do I wish to happen to me when I hurt my leg? And so I just I snuck up behind her and I knocked her out before she could see me, so she wouldn't have to deal with the trauma and the pain.
Oh,
What did you guys do?
I helped her up and I was like, "Oh, ma'am, how can I help you?" And she's like, "You can help me by dying." And then her sisters all show up, and so I just, you know what? My crow buddies helped me a lot with this this little fight.
Oh, you used summon assassin.
Yeah,
The best power in the fucking game.
yeah, it's pretty great. I mean, sure
Particularly
they
when you
don't.
upgrade it and the other... What's the other upgrade? Where you get them... You can upgrade so that they're stronger and you can upgrade so that they have more powers.
That they have your power set, yeah.
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 It's fucking awesome.
So some of them fell asleep, some of them exploded into pieces and got beheaded. But, you know, it was like a little mix.
Hey, listen, no shade here. I exploded every single one of them.
I put them to sleep, but they don't show up if you knock her out. So I knocked her out. There's a little side room where you
Wow.
can see a witch talking to a statue of Delilah. Knocked her out, and then you sort of, if you went the silent route, you go down this hall, and there's a couple of witches hiding there, and they're like, "Why hasn't anyone come yet? Do you think, does she need to work on her acting skills?"
Oh, no, they do that.
Surely
That
someone will
happens
come.
either way. You kill them and
Okay.
this is, yeah.
So snuck past those ladies.
Killed
Made
those
my way
ladies.
to the pump room. There's a couple of witches in the pump room, and if you listen to their conversation, they're kind of talking about Delilah's big plan and how she's going to do some kind of big magical ceremony, and They're speculating that she doesn't really want other powerful witches there. She just wants sort of amateurs around, and they're not sure why. And it all seems very odd to them indeed.
Yeah, why would a power-hungry megalomaniac surround themselves with yes men and losers?
It's very weird, and it doesn't make any sense. So I knocked them out. You find the wheel to the water pump, hook it up, and go to turn it on, but there's a problem. Its gears are all gunked up with vines. So you got to go down sort of underneath it. There's some weepers down there. Take care of them. Clear out the vines. And then the water starts flowing. And at this point, you can go back to your friend Nurse Trimble, and he'll give you the code to the machine room.
Yay! That's what I did.
That's
The
what I
end.
did too. There is a secret way, a secret third way, where you don't have to deal with the geezer or Nurse Trimble. If you go through the sewers, there's a body with a key on it, and you can take that key all the way back to where you started the whole level. Go to an apartment that's locked up, unlock it, and the code is in that apartment.
I did
to-
find this key and unlock it, but I'd already got the part. So
Yeah. So that's just, if you don't want to like kill the geezer or make a deal with Nurse Trimble for some reason, he seems like a perfectly educated, erudite gentleman to me. Why wouldn't you want to deal with him? You can do the code. Now it's time to take the engine back. You can take it back to the boat, slap it on in the boat. This is an interesting twist. If you have killed or incapacitated all of the witches in the sewer before you do this, you just plug in the engine, everything's fine, you're good to go. If you haven't, some witches will appear and attack everyone.
I guess
when
I
you
only got
plug
a
in
few
the
of them,
engine.
so I still had to survive the witch attack, but it did
Mm,
not
did-
take me very long to deal with them.
Did you get witch attack amount?
Sorry, I was thinking about other things. What happened?
When you plugged the engine into the ship, were you attacked by witches?
Or were they already dead?
Engine into the ship? What?
You know what? Never mind. If you
No,
missed them...
wait. We already. Are we back at the ship? I thought we were at the witch's house.
No,
No,
we're
before
back at the
that.
ship now.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
So if you missed some witches and you don't want to do the witch attack, you can actually find their little hiding place in the canal area and knock them out before you do the engine.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's cool. No, I did. I had to fight the witches. It was garbage.
There was like 2 on board. It wasn't a big
Yeah,
deal.
it's not a big deal. Like
It is
I went
possi-
and hid, and then
Yeah.
killed them.
It is possible that the witches will kill Lizzie during this attack, at which point Thomas tells you that you are the captain of the boat now. But that didn't happen with me. So Lizzie says, okay, time to go to Brigmore, and off you go. Toot toot. There is a granny soup that you can make on this level. Did you guys do that?
I didn't.
This granny soup, you need a wedding ring and a bride and a groom. They can be dead or alive.
Oh, I didn't do this either.
The wedding ring is really hard to find. It's like in an alley in the Draper's Ward area, and you really need like your dark vision to even see it. It's in a bush.
I don't
Okay.
I don't remember getting a granny soup
I
thing here.
found-
Maybe,
I did
guess I
find
just
it.
missed it.
I found the recipe, but I couldn't find the wedding ring. I tried for a little bit. I was like, it's not worth the time.
Wow.
I found the wedding ring, and then for the bride, I used a knocked out eel woman, and for the groom, I used a corpse that I found. So that was a fun wedding.
Da, 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 da,
Da,
da.
da, da, da. Wah, 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 wah.
Low chaos run, ladies and gentlemen. I married a poor unconscious woman to a corpse.
Yeah.
Chaos
Usually
is low.
he doesn't get stiff until after the ceremony.
Oh.
Good one, though. That was good.
So now it's finally time to go to beautiful Brigmore Manor.
Whoa, it's great.
Our favorites
I
here
love this
are...
level.
Oh, I'm happy to hear it. Our favors are cut a hole in the fence to make for easier access to the manor. You can get a stash from a butler who stole from the manor. And you can get one of the witches to sort of churn against Delilah and tell you some information.
I did all 3.
Me
Yeah,
too.
these are not mutually exclusive things. There
That's
is
true.
a hole in the fence. You can talk to the woman that you bribe and then kill her, which I did.
And you can find the butler's stash. This level is
I thought
interesting
you were-
because there's a lot of grave hounds around.
Oh, they're great. I love these things.
And you can just just smush the skulls, break them up, drink their blood.
You can destroy them with a crossbow bolt
Yeah.
if you
yeah, exactly.
see them, but when I played this, I did not see probably half of these things.
Wow. Get good, I
they're
guess.
It was
They're-
annoying. Yeah, I should get good. That's a good point.
They're dog skulls on the ground, and if you get too close to them, they will come to life, fill up with dog, and the dogs will attack you. And if you kill
That's
the dog...
what I get for being a beta cuck loser.
If you kill the dog and don't crush the skull, they'll keep coming back. So you have to destroy the skull. As Johnny said, if you see the skull on the ground, you can shoot it with a crossbow, smash it up to bits, and the dog will never come. So,
the first time I saw
there's
one of
lots-
these Delilah statues, I went up to talk to it, which is a bad idea.
Yeah. There are Delilah statues here. Unlike before, they will not have a conversation with you. They'll just scream
they're
and
just
alert
alarms.
everyone. Yeah. There's tons of witches all over the place. So we need to find a way to sneaky snuck into the mansion.
There are so many witches that will, like, it feels like it's scripted, where if you're in an area, they'll teleport in front of you, but not see you, unless you're terrible at the game. And then teleport back out, and then never come back. Like, there's some real scripted stuff here, which it's fine. It's not a complaint, but.
Yeah, it's just to give you a little scare. Apparently there is a granny soup in this yard area somewhere, but I never found it.
Whoa.
Oh, maybe I did. I think it's in like the garden shed. It's around the garden shed. I just didn't understand what I was supposed to do with it, but I think it's around there. I did find the butler and his key. But
Mr. Body?
Yeah, he was very dead. He was like drowned in a waterfall.
Poor bud.
The turncoat lady's fun. She's like, well, since you haven't killed any of my sisters, we are cool. But don't kill any of them or I'll find you.
I had the same interaction, and then I snuck up behind her and killed her.
Oh, no. Yeah, I talked to her too, and she's like, just kill Delilah, nobody else. And I was like, no problem. I'm a good boy. I did kill a lot of gravehounds, though, I guess, by smashing their skulls. But they're already dead, so they don't count.
I think I might have killed one or two witches. If I run out of sleepy bolts, this is before I found out how good the bolt mines are. Those things are amazing.
I killed every single witch in the area.
Wow. So I got into the mansion.
They're witches. They have to die.
What?
That is an extreme position. Would you
just
say that about Agatha?
Yeah, what about
Yes.
the ones that you just put your tongue into for like 20 minutes in a creepy old house?
blah, 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 blah.
So
blah,
what you're asking
blah.
me is, would I kill a teen witch? And the answer is obviously yes.
What about Zelda Rubinstein? You wouldn't kill her.
Oh, 100%.
Wow.
I don't really even need to know that she's a witch, to be honest with you.
What about Faruka Bulk from The Craft?
Oh, that's tough because she's
goth
so
lady.
hot.
Yeah.
She's
That
so
is
hot.
Matt's ideal woman.
Oh no, I've been caught out. No, I would not kill Faruza Balk.
Up on her little tippy toes, scooting across the floor. What could be more appealing?
Morrigan. She's a witch. Oh, the waist.
Yeah. So I got into the mansion by finding the butler's corpse and using the front door key and just strolling on through the front door.
Did you say a witch with a waist?
Yes.
I think
Morrigan
she's
is
a witch of the waist.
witch with a waist.
I think she's the witch of the wilds.
Oh, is that it? Oh, okay. Well, I just went in through a balcony anyways, because I like going in through balconies. They're fun.
Yeah. Do you remember how you got in, Matt?
Every direction. I mean, it's tough when you ask me these questions because I like to kill everyone and then take my pick, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I went through like a window and through to the back, and then I killed everyone back there. And then they were like, oh, you gotta have this key to open up the vault grave door. And I guess I went in through the grave.
Cool. So once you're in, you can see that this beautiful
Excuse
manor
me.
has...
You asked me, and then you were like, cool.
I was being sincere.
Least sincere
So
thing I've ever heard in my
hostile
life.
to me today.
So sincere. I'm sorry. Am I being hostile to you? I don't mean to be. You're my favorite, Vanessa. I would replace
Aw.
Jim or Johnny with you any minute of the day.
All's forgiven.
That's not true, actually. I love Johnny. He's great. And also, Jim's fantastic.
Yeah, even when he nopes out. But you know what? Some nights you just can't handle recording, and I understand. It happens to all of us.
Yeah, but use
We've
your
all
words.
been there.
But use your words, though, right?
Well, I do, but I'm a powerful communicator. So once we're inside,
It's not working
we
for
see...
me. Hang on.
This is the part of the podcast where Matt wants
Hang
to
on, it's gonna work for
silently
me.
Matt doesn't want anyone to talk while he gives thumbs up to the Zoom call to see if he can trigger a Zoom effect, which he has never been able to do. But someday it's going to happen. So we go inside. The mansion is falling apart before our eyes. It's very sad. It's full of witches, as before. And we really just need to wander around and find Delilah's study. You can overhear some witches. They'll be saying like, oh, Delilah was in her study, but now she's in the gallery and no one's allowed to go into her study. I wonder what's
Witch,
up there.
please.
I got a little turned around here. Like, I got to the gallery, I knocked out the witches in the gallery, and then, like, it's like, oh, you need to find her. She's in the West Wing, and I went to the West Wing and didn't find her, but I found a special lamp.
Mm-hmm.
This just took me a way too long for how small the level is.
It is small, but it's very windy and difficult to navigate. You do need to go and find the special lamp. There's also a room with a sort of crazed, dying overseer.
Oh,
But don't talk to him, because if you do, it will just trigger a whole bunch of witches to show up and
I did
attack
talk
you.
to him, but the witches,
no.
those ladies just needed a nap, Vanessa.
Oh, okay.
It just needed a nap.
So you go to Delilah's study. She has lots of sketches there, mostly of Emily. And she has her special lantern. So you grab her special lantern and take it to Delilah's gallery And everyone,
Now,
like,
I'd
the closer
already
you get,
found,
the
like,
more they talk
3
about her very... Sorry, what, Johnny?
Sorry.
Tell her, interrupt her.
I'm sorry for this.
She
No, it's
loves
okay.
it.
I'm not upset. I just want to know. I
Oh,
couldn't hear you.
I found like 3 different documents talking about what she was going to do. Like, so it wasn't a surprise.
No,
There's,
it's,
like, a
it's
journal
everywhere.
Being like, I'm going to get into Emily's brain. I'm going to being John Malkovich her. I'm going to control her from the inside and see what she's seeing and control her like a puppet. Just like the puppets that John Cusack controlled in Being John Malkovich.
Yep. It's her very good plan. She wants to be Emily because she wants Corvo to be her zaddy.
What's a zaddy?
I don't know. It's something the kids say.
It's like a non-binary daddy. Nat, not Jim.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So, we go to the big old gallery where Delilah's giant masterpiece painting is and shine her special lantern on it, and then we get to go into Paintland.
Just like Oblivion.
Yeah, it's so exciting.
Whoa.
I guess in Final Fantasy VI, do you also go into paintings, or do they just come to life and attack you? I can't remember.
I feel like you go into paintings in a lot of games.
Yeah, it's a pretty common trope, I guess. But we go into Paintland, and the outsider's there. He is like, well, here you are. You finally found Delilah. Guess you must think you're pretty hot shit, especially since you haven't been killing anyone. It's not going to make any difference, though, lols. I'm over you. I'm super into Corvo now. He's my special boy.
He's like, you think you're hot shit because you haven't killed anybody. Dream
Because
on!
you went to a dance.
You're a dog, Daud. A dog! I also found out, I forget who, I must have read something about how to screw up her little ceremony. I know there's like a journal you can find that tells you, hey, if she does this and is connected to the wrong painting, she'll get trapped inside like David from Teen Witch.
Yeah. It's sort of tricky to find the wrong painting, though, because it's not before Paintland. It's in Paintland. Paintland is pretty small. It has a few guard statues around, so you have to be careful, though. And in the middle of Paintland, Delilah is getting ready to do her very special paint ceremony. But you can sneak sort of to the back, and you find some of her rough drafts, and one of them is a painting of a beautiful tree.
Now, when you say
And
difficult, there was like a quest arrow on it. I didn't find it that
Okay.
difficult.
It's not that difficult. But, you know, it's not I guess it's
I do
pretty
kind of
obvious.
feel like maybe Dishonored 2 does this a little better. I feel like they didn't have to put as many quest icons as they did in this game. Like, it was a little bit too much at sometimes. Like, yeah, game, I get it. You don't have to leave me by the nose to this.
I guess they really wanted you to have a choice.
Yeah.
So I did go back there. I found her tree painting. I thought, who wouldn't want to be a lovely tree? So I sort of blinked around, watched her, and when she turned her back to the painting of Emily, I went down there and I did a swapsies.
She really turns her back for a while. Like, she is...
Yeah, she's like, now everything's ready. I'm just going to turn my back.
No need
and
to go
assume
back
that
and make
everything
sure
goes
I'm looking
fine.
at working with the right painting, because who would ever know how to come into my special void?
Yeah, nobody else is here, so there's no problem with me turning my back.
It's just
Even
you
though I
and
know
me
that if it's
painting
the
of
wrong
Emily.
painting, something could go wrong. She talks about how she made her brush with Emily's hair, and the canvas was the fabric that was used to make Emily's garments. And I think the paint is special too somehow.
Oh, is that what happened to the dressmaker? Because he says like the hair was stolen, and like
Yes.
someone. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So Delilah is basically saying, Emily, you can't ignore me. My power is too powerful, and this painting is too connected to you. You have to let me in. But little does she know, it's been swapsied.
Whoops. So I want to know what happened with Matt, 'cause he didn't go swapsies. But yeah.
Maybe he did.
But I like this. I like this. This is my favorite cruel fate to a bad person for sure. She just gets like plunged into a void.
She gets sucked into the tree painting, and I assume becomes a beautiful tree.
Oh, that's nice. Matt, did you just
Yeah.
set fire to her?
Yeah, I just killed her. Sorry.
Aww.
Was it a
You
big
know,
boss
it's tough
fight?
when
or-
you're playing. It's tough when you're playing these games for this show and you're doing the evil option, because the answer's always the same, and it's I killed them. It's a little
But like,
boring.
was it a boss fight? Did she like have 3 different forms that you had to kill?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah. I had to like chase her around and shoot her.
Did she turn into a big jerpig boss at the end with like hair flowing?
No.
Oh.
So I guess I got the easier version.
No, ours was pretty easy too. You just swap paintings and
Yeah,
She-
and watch her get sucked into it. It's pretty funny.
yeah, it's a good. I would say that you would. I'm sure you've done this in your previous playthroughs, right? Get her sucked into the painting. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So then we get sort of a little Daud epilogue. He's like, well, no one will ever know how close Emily came to being Delilah, but me, Daud, I saved her because I've been a hero all along, I guess it turns out. And then we see the actual confrontation, not dream confrontation, between him and Corvo. Even though this is not how it went down in my game, because I just stole his little pocketbook as a prank.
That'll show him.
Gonna reach for his pocketbook. It's not gonna be there.
And he'll somehow know it was me.
So we see Corvo sort of cornering Daud, having defeated him, and Daud's like, oh, let me live and I'll just leave and you'll never have to deal with me again. And Corvo, in my case, he just like tossed his sword to the side and he's like, fine.
And said he's angry.
Yeah, he's angry. Matt, what happened to Daud for you?
He dead.
Aww.
I do a kill of him. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. He. I ranted about this last week, so I don't want to do it again. But hey, this assassin that's killed like tons of people and then killed the Empress, but then he feels bad about it. Like, fuck this. I killed him. I killed him good, and I felt good about it.
Wow. Harsh but fair.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the end. That's it. That's the end of Witches of Brigmore and the end of our whole Dishonored series.
Whoa. Next week, we're playing Sea of Stars.
Not
No.
exactly true.
Oh.
We're
What are we
playing
doing?
Would You Eat This Bird? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Edition.
Is that next
Rebird
week?
edition.
Is that next week? I don't know. I'm not American.
Yeah. Because
No, it's the week after. Next
Oh.
week
No,
is
this-
Sea of Stars. No, this comes
I don't
out.
think that's true. Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah. This will come out on the 18th. On the 25th, we'll be having our annual American Thanksgiving special, Would You Eat This Bird? And December 2nd, we will start Sea of Stars.
Yay!
Sea of Stars.
Stars.
Whoa.
For our first chunk of Sea of Stars, we're playing to the end of the mountain trail where we meet the Elder Mist.
Yay.
So now that we're done with the whole Dishonored game, it's time to ask, what about this whole game, or when it comes to this whole game, Johnny,
Mhm.
are you roundly for or squarely against Dishonored?
I'm roundly for. I'm very glad you picked. Yeah, this is a Vanessa pick. I'm very glad you picked this because I ended up really liking it this playthrough. I think I just needed to actually be forced to get good at it, and once I did, I was having a lot of fun. And especially once I figured out that you don't have to be. You can kill one or two people and still get low chaos, and so you can be a little bit more fluid with playstyle if you want to. I really enjoyed it.
I'm really happy to hear that. Matt, are you roundly for or squarely against Dishonored?
I am super roundly for this game. It is fantastic. I've been saying this since episode 1 of this season. This is one of the best fucking games ever made. That's not an exaggeration. It's not a joke. Hold just for farts. It is fantastic. This game's amazing. And you know what? The DLC, very good. A little repeaty. I complained about it earlier. But there's a lot of new stuff here and interesting stuff. And as much as I don't like Daud as the main character. Not as the main character. Like, actually, it works pretty well as the main character. But I don't like Daud. But fucking fantastic game. 10 out of 10. Great job. Vanessa, what is Jim squarely for or roundly against?
Hey, I'm Jim. I'd never played these DLCs before, so
I didn't finish it.
To get the opportunity to do that, but in the end I could only play
I
one
couldn't
of them
be bothered to say goodbye.
I couldn't do the second one because I was busy or sad.
I'm so busy, but I do have this game on my Steam Deck that I can take anywhere.
You know what? I'm not gonna go too hard on Jim. For some people, it's been a rough couple weeks, so I understand. Not me. Everything's fine. Yeah, I of course am roundly for this game. It is one of my favorite games. It was so good that I launched immediately into playing all of Dishonored 2. Johnny, I think you've never played Dishonored 2.
Yeah, I have not touched that game at all.
I would say that it is a significant direct sequel to this. There's a time jump, but it really involves a lot of what we learn in this game and a lot of the characters. But
only if you play as Emily. Because if you play as Corvo, you're a fucking idiot.
Who would play as Corvo in Dishonored 2? That's insane.
It's a legit question.
So I'm really appreciate the chance to play it for the show. It was fun.
So fun.
Now
I
we're
finished
done with...
it like 3 weeks after we started it.
Yep. Once you start and get into it, it's hard to put down. Johnny, we're done talking about the game. What do we do now on this show?
Well, we talk about our Patreon, right? Is that right? Or do we...
No.
No, we level up. Okay, we level up. Can I level up?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So I leveled up by watching the new episode of The Simpsons that was short films. Like, I think, sort of in the style of 22 short films about Springfield. This was short films about getting to know the lady characters of Springfield. And one thing I've noticed this season is there's been several episodes involving getting to know Mrs. Hubbard, Dr. Hubbard's wife, the one who is sort of modeled after Felicia Rashad from The Cosby Show. Mm-hmm. And it's funny that they're kind of giving way more time to a character that was only there to say 1 or 2 lines for the first 35 seasons, that she's had so much more.
Have you enjoyed her as a character?
Yeah, it's interesting because now all the black characters are voiced by black voice actors, and like the gay that gay Puerto Rican guy is voiced by an actual gay Puerto Rican guy and stuff. It's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
I forget his name. It's not Raul.
Woke rule.
But it's interesting how mad the Simpsons writers were about the Apu stuff, and now like that they've kind of. I think the writers' rooms really changed out since that. That was only a couple years ago, but now I don't know. They're just kind of rolling with it, and it works a lot better. It feels fresher.
Mm-hmm.
That show, the last 2 seasons, pretty good. I think Megan Amram's like showrunner, or she was for a little while, or head writer or something. She was a writer on like a lot of the Good Place episodes and stuff.
Cool. That's a good show.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Vanessa?
Well, I watched a docu-series on Peacock called Anatomy of Lies. Ooh. This is a show about a writer for Grey's Anatomy and how she sort of came to be a writer for the show, and then how her whole reputation and persona unraveled when it turned out that she had basically fabricated her entire life. And
wow,
who hasn't done that?
She was writing stories for the show based on things that she claimed to have been through, and then she missed a lot of work based on things that she also claimed to be going through. And she married a woman based on their sort of trauma bonding over different terrible experiences they had been through. And it turned out that essentially none of it was true. So it was very interesting. She was pretty successful in her writing on the show. She was recognized for a couple of different episodes that she put a lot of work into, but it turned out she really had a habit of kind of stealing other people's stories and their personal life stories and turning the most traumatic moments of their life into not only television episodes, but also into stories about her own life. Yes, Johnny has a question.
Have you heard of that new show where it's about a doctor on a cruise ship and it's starring Pacey from Dawson's Creek? Apparently.
Yes, Dr. Odyssey.
That seems like a real Vanessa show.
I watched one half of the pilot of that show before I could not take it anymore.
Oh, is it that bad?
I will say the best thing about Dr. Odyssey is the very obvious green screen that they use for the ship. So whenever they're walking across the pool deck or in a ship hallway or something, there was one part where it looked like the porter, like behind the main characters, he was like pushing a cart of luggage. He looked like he was just kind of floating across the carpet. Like it was not grounded in any kind of reality at all. Also, everybody acts like Pacey is the most handsome man they've ever seen, and they like lose their mind when he walks into a room. It's pretty hilarious. If you like schlock, then you'll probably like Dr. Odyssey, but I don't know, I like some level of schlock, but that was too much for me. I couldn't handle it.
Listeners, when I said that it was totally a Vanessa show, Vanessa gave me the most withering look. I felt like my soul left my body. She withered me so hard.
I don't know what it is.
That explains why your whole head is just flat now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you think it is I watch, but it ain't that, because I tried
Well,
and I couldn't do it.
Vanessa can't understand a Johnny boyfriend. Johnny can't understand a Vanessa show. You know what I mean?
That makes sense. I did watch the second season of Slow Horses on Apple TV. I liked it. I thought it was better than the first season.
Why were they so slow?
Why are they so slow? This is the story with Gary Oldman as a kind of
Dracula.
failing MI6 agent and his little team of MI6 agents who have all kind of messed up in a big significant way, but not enough to be ejected from the agency. So they're kind of put into this ancillary office and not allowed to do anything that serious. But somehow they always wind up wrapped up into some big national scandal. It's based on a series of books, I think. Matt, how did you level up?
Oh no. You know what? I didn't. I did not. So.
Okay. Fair enough. You playing in PUBG or anything?
Yeah. No, I got last Saturday I played PUBG, but it was like super late at night, like so late at night that I don't really remember the game that I played, but I won with like a bunch of kills. And then the next day I woke up and played again and I won immediately. And I was like, back to back.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you. I did make $20,000 off of that game. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm a professional PUBG player.
Of course. Well, Matt, since you aren't leveling up, why don't you tell us about the Patreon?
Oh, no. We have a Patreon. Check it out. Patreon.com/Square Roots Podcast, where we do all sorts of fun stuff. We have 2 tiers that you can subscribe to. The $3 tier gets you access to all of our sweet bonus content, of which there is legitimately just a stupid amount. There are Square Roots verses. There are random games that we play with each other. There are movie commentaries. There are movie discussions. There are game discussions, of course, and all sorts of other stuff. Check it out, squarerootspodcast.com/Patreon. That's wrong. Also, at the $5 level, you get all that sweet bonus content, but then you also get to vote on upcoming games and streams sometimes. So check that out, patreon.com/squarerootspodcast. It's amazing and fun and super worth your money. So do that, please. Give us your money and your dollars. And one of the benefits of being a patron at any level, whether you're in a tier or not in a tier, is that you get to hear your cool name, your Patreon name, read out at the end of the show, like we're going to do right now. And I'd like to start us off by thanking Andy Best, Tyler, Vanessa's mom, Cyril the Woo, Matt Jorgensen, Ryan, Eric Garby, Robert T, Sean Walsh, Star Healer, Justin Rash. It makes me uncomfortable to hear my name read on a podcast. I kill gods for fun. David Green, Star Drifter, Sean Gonzalez, J-Bone, Jake Dickerson, Cerulean, and RP Siege.
I'd like to thank Rachel, David Shook, Kodab Games, Sexy Grandma's Retirement Home, Nick. For Square Roots Podcast, I'm Sim Stanks. I'm Anthony Lerma. It's July, John. Oh, it's July, John whispers with disdain. T. Blumpkins has twins now. Cut me some slack.
Show us them babies. I still haven't seen any baby pictures.
Yeah, show me them babies.
Show the
Matt-
I want
babies.
to see them
And
babies.
Vanessa
baby.
wants to see the babies. Tracy with an I and David Arnold.
And I would like to thank Wake Up Call, Make It Happen, My Battery is Low, Loafing Around, Chad Wilson, and Cameron Shoey.
Whoa. We did it.
Mm-hmm.
We
All right.
did it. Another game under the belt. Pants are
Remember how
getting
Jim was on
awfully
this episode
tight.
earlier? I don't.
Send us an email, squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. If you don't want to do that, you can go check out our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast group for smart, cool, very attractive people. We're also on Blue Sky, but I have to log into that. I'll do that someday. Please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, Ghana, or whatever you want to. I love reviews. And thanks to Stephen Morris for our Square Roots theme. You can find Stephen on YouTube. Links in the show notes. Oh yeah, also, if you're listening on Spotify, You can find our complete archive on other podcast services or at squareroots.libsyn.com.
All right, that's it for our show. For Square Roots Podcast, I'm Vanessa.
I'm Johnny Brandon.
I made the mistake of looking at the news.
Oh boy.
Ugh. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Get your fluoride elsewhere. You know what I mean? You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
I do.
Bye.
Bye.
What a fucking nightmare the next 4 years are going to be.